Finally, Matas Buzelis is playing. We see Matas Buzelis play some extended minutes tonight for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be talking about his impact, and we're also going to be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so today, the Chicago Bulls lose to the Memphis Grizzlies 142-131. Look, the Memphis Grizzlies were all over the Chicago Bulls, but it was the younger players that got in the game and actually helped the Chicago Bulls get a little bit closer. At one point, I think that they were down by 5 in this one, but just could not pull it out. And so anyway, we're going to be talking about some of the key takeaways from tonight's game. And so, Memphis really started off well tonight. They shot 45.5% from downtown in the first half. They would go on to shoot the basketball extremely well from behind the three-point line tonight. And then as far as their assist to field goal makes, at one point in the first half, 18 assists to 23 field goal makes. So the Grizzlies were doing a great job as far as making passes, and they were passes with a purpose as they ended up scoring. With Vooch tonight, look, he had 10 of his first 13 points were in the paint, and Scottie Pippen Jr. was the MVP for the Memphis Grizzlies tonight, 30 points and 10 assists. And so going into the MVPs for tonight and for our Chicago Bulls, I wanted to go ahead and start with Matas Buzelis. I think that Matas Buzelis was outstanding tonight. In fact, Matas Buzelis, he led us in the plus-minus box score, and he played extended minutes tonight. I think this might be the most that he's played all season, so 29 minutes, and he delivered 14 points, 2 of 5 from downtown. He had 3 rebounds. He had 1 assist. He had 1 block, and I just love the fact that one of the things that Matas Buzelis had to really work on was his three-point shot, and you can tell that it has gotten so much more better. And I talked about this in the Summer League, that the mechanics and everything, like, it looks good. It was just a matter of him having that confidence, and you can see that he has that confidence. And he is becoming a great source of offense, just standing there on the corner and knocking down the three-point shot. But what I loved tonight is he put the ball on the deck and he went to the rim, and he actually played a little bully ball tonight. And so he got to the free throw line. Look, he had a nice little layup in there after he tossed the Memphis Grizzlies defender off of him. And so, look, Matas Buzelis looks great. I think that you see that this is a young man that has earned minutes. This is what Billy Donovan was talking about before, that you have to earn minutes. I think Matas Buzelis has clearly earned minutes, and you just have to play him. I think the more that you play him, the better he gets. And that's what I've loved about looking at Matas come out here and play, because you can tell it's just a different Matas Buzelis each game, and it's trending in the right direction. Defensively, I feel like he's making his reads. Did he make every read? No. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. Did he foul some players that he probably shouldn't have fouled? Of course. But I still love the energy, the effort, and just his understanding on the offensive and the defensive end. He absolutely was the MVP tonight for me. Just his play. And to Billy Donovan, you have got to play this young man. The only way you're going to find out what you have with this team is you're going to have to play your younger players. And so it's tough, because the Chicago Bulls have some injuries and we lost tonight, but this is the best case scenario. We need to have our younger players play. So a great job from Matas Buzelis. Next up, Josh Giddy. Look, Josh Giddy played well. He certainly was an MVP for us tonight. He led the starters with the plus-minus box score tonight. And look, he had 12 points, he had 7 rebounds, he had 8 assists, and he had 2 blocks. Key word there, he had 2 blocks. And so, look, defensively, I have seen some good efforts from Josh Giddy these last couple games, and he had about 3 minutes of just terrific defense where it led to either a turnover or we got the basketball back, either or. Like, he goes out there, he shows on Jaren Jackson Jr., and then he waits until Jalen Smith comes over for his help. That turned ended up turning into a turnover for the Chicago Bulls. And then there was one possession where he either knocks the basketball loose, then he finally gets it and then knocks it ahead to Matas Buzelis, who then goes up for the dunk. And I liked his assertiveness on the offensive end. Like, you could tell that he had the confidence because he knew where the hot hand was. So when Matas was cooking, he was looking for him. He was looking for him to shoot that. And that's what you need with a playmaker and a guard that is going to set the table. They understand what is going on with the team, where the hot hand is, and you find ways to get it to him. And so I think that Josh Giddy did a great job tonight in doing that, hitting the boards as usual. And so, look, as long as he focuses in on the things he can control, which is the assist and the rebounds, then I feel like the points will naturally come. And I think that his jump shot in this offense is becoming a little bit more natural as well. And so I think he's just understanding that. In fact, there were times where I saw him demanding for the basketball out there. That's how good that he felt as far as behind the three-point line. And so hopefully he continues to build upon this. This is 2 games in a row. He's nearly flirted with a triple-double here tonight. So a good job from Josh Giddy. So I want to give him credit there. So next, as we go into the box score and take a look at some of the key takeaways tonight, starting with Zach LaVine and Vooch. And so, look, Zach LaVine and Vooch, look, they share a game ball tonight. No, they didn't necessarily play that great, but I'm going to give them one because, well, they led the team in scoring. 29 from Zach LaVine and 26 from Vooch. And, starting with Zach LaVine, I think that once again, Zach LaVine's not forcing the action. I know he was negative 18 tonight. He did cut down the turnovers. I think you probably would see that plus minus a little bit better tonight had he had some more assists, but that just wasn't the case tonight, and we needed the scoring really to kind of stay into this game. He had 3 rebounds. He had 2 steals, and so Zach LaVine, I think that he does everything that he can do, and it's not like he forced, to those 29 points, and so I do like that with Zach LaVine. I've liked that with him throughout this season, that he continues to play within the team concept. Vooch, look, he started off very well. I talked about how 10 of his first 13 were in the paint. We got away from that. I think that that's probably what slowed Vooch down, and maybe what slowed us down from maybe getting back into this game a little bit more sooner is just not utilizing Vooch like we should have. I think that there were several times where Vooch is in the paint, he's waving his arms, and we don't trust to go in there, and you have to. And I don't care that the Memphis Grizzlies are up there and block shots. You still have to get it to your big guy and let him work from there. And that could have led to some easier shots for the Chicago Bulls, or maybe some open lanes for some better three-point shots. And so I feel like we should have utilized him a little bit better. He was negative 12 tonight. He had 26 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and he did have 5 turnovers. And so he was forcing it a little bit tonight. Coby White just could not get it going. 11 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. He was negative 5. He just could not get his shot going, couldn't get comfortable out there. And I think that he was forcing the action a bit tonight. And so, Coby White struggles. Talked about Josh Giddy and how well he did tonight. Definitely an MVP. Want to highlight this bench, okay? And so the bench, Jalen Smith, looked 7 points. He had his 5 rebounds. He also had 1 block as well. He was negative 8. Still would like to see him play a little bit more out there with Matas tonight. Dalen Terry, 2 points and a block. Still out there scrappy like he has been, I think, throughout the season. THT, look, he was another big player off the bench for us tonight. And you could probably throw him in there as an MVP for us because he had 10 points. He had 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks. He was plus 3. And what I love most about THT is that even if he doesn't play, he comes out there and he's been an impact to this team and really showing the way. And I think that his championship experience helps this team. And he's young enough. I think he fits with this core. How it works out, we'll see what happens. But I think that THT was an excellent signing, and I think every time he's come in the game, he's been impactful. Next up, Chris Duarte. And so Chris Duarte, 3 points today, 2 rebounds, plus 9. Along with Javon Carter, who had 3 points, and he was plus 9. I talked about how Billy Donovan is going to have to dig into his rotation a little bit more. You have 5 games and 7 nights. He talked about having to throw them out there. Stacey King talks about you have to find a way to somehow get Chris Duarte out there. And I talked about how well he was, or how well he played, with the Indiana Pacers his rookie year. And he can help you defensively. He has that length. He certainly can knock down a shot. I think every time I've seen him come in the game, he's knocked down a three-point shot. And so we're not playing for an NBA championship. We need to see what we have. We might as well throw him out there in the game. So I think that both of those players came in and were impactful. They were +9 tonight. And EJ Liddell. Look, EJ Liddell is a guy that we know can play defense. I think he's compared to like a Draymond Green when he was coming out. And the defense, you see the activity is there. One of the things that really could maybe take him to the next level is being able to knock down the three ball. And we saw that tonight. Like, he had some huge three-point shots that kept this team in distance of the Memphis Grizzlies. And so we're seeing that the amount of work that these players are doing off the court, it's translating, because the things that have been deemed as a weakness for these players, we're starting to see those as strengths. And so I think that Billy Donovan has got to recognize that you got to continue to play these younger players. We need to see what we have as we continue to build out this team. So a great job from our younger players and our bench tonight, just utilizing the minutes that they were given. And so I'm glad for that, even though we do take the loss tonight. So as we look at just the team box score and some of the key takeaways in that one. And so, look, I talked about Memphis, they really had it going tonight. I mean, they shot the basketball well, 57.3%, 45.2% from downtown. So they really kept it going. There were a lot of open three-point attempts for this team, and they were getting them off fast breaks because the Grizzlies, they led in that department 28-10. So they got us in the fast break, baskets and things like that. And as far as turnovers are concerned, on this stat sheet, it's saying 11-11. On ESPN stat sheet, it is saying that the Grizzlies actually had 14 turnovers to the Bulls 11. And so, if you're looking at that stat, I think that the ESPN one is probably maybe the better one. So 14-11, that would have the Chicago Bulls at 11 and the Grizzlies 14. And so the key takeaway from that is just that you don't see the Chicago Bulls turning the basketball over as much. So that's good. Obviously, we don't want to give them some extra opportunities. And so hopefully they can continue to grow upon that. So I think that is a bright spot. We did get beat in the paint 64-58. The Grizzlies beat us up in the paint, but we're right there with them. So we're almost in, maybe one of these games we'll win the paint battle, but 64-58, we get beat there. 29 assists for the Bulls tonight, so not bad there. With the Grizzlies, look, they did a terrific job as far as assists to field goals. I've talked about what they did in the first half, and so Chicago Bulls 50.5%, 45.2% from three. So we didn't shoot necessarily bad. We didn't have a bad amount of assists. It's just that we gave up too many, and that team kind of made us pay. And so with that being said, let me know in the comments what your key takeaway is from tonight's loss against the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, do you feel like, look, even though we lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, we actually won because Billy Donovan had to utilize his younger players. We finally see Matas Buzelis playing the minutes that he should be playing. Are you excited for that? Or are you saying, no, you know what? I want to see some more of the veteran players. I'd love to know what your comments are. And so I just want to thank everybody out there for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the content. It means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest. We try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers before the end of the NBA season. And just want to let you know about 73.5% of you that watch are not subscribed. So make sure that you slam dunk on that subscribe button, just like Matas Buzelis tonight. All right. And so with that being said, look, I know that it's a tough loss, but I'm super encouraged with the fact that Billy Donovan was forced to utilize some players that he hasn't been playing. And so hopefully we can now look at these younger players. We can get a plan and start to move this team in the right direction for the long haul. And look, I am still saying go Bulls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.